Hey crew, this is Alexis with the Rhinestone World, and in this video I'm going to be unboxing the new Graphtec CE6000-60 Plus, as well as showing you how to put together the cutting stand and showing you what's in the box for the actual cutter. Stay tuned. Alright, so I've taken everything out of the box just to show you what comes in it. So we have 2 feet. We have 1 supporting beam, and then we are going to have 2 legs. There's one here and one here. And you'll see on the back of the legs, so it's going to be at the back of your cutter, this is the framework, so this actually connects to your cutter to hold it in place. And also this is where your vinyl rollers go, so that you can feed your vinyl through your cutter. So there's that. And then we also have our screws here, and then an Allen wrench. So there's different screws. There's screws that have white on them. These ones are going to be for the cutter to connect it to the framework. And then we have just normal metal screws in here as well. These screws are going to be what actually holds all the different parts of the stand together, not the framework. So we're going to go ahead and put it together, guys. So as you can see, we have our 2 feet here. And what we're going to do is take a look at these. You'll see that there's these 2 holes. These holes are not in the center. They're closer towards where the front of the machine needs to be. We need more of the feet to be on the back side of the cutter to hold it up and steady it. So that's how we're going to set it up. Now, if we take a look at this leg, you're going to see this brace here. This is part of the framework. This is actually what attaches to your cutter. And if we look at it from this angle, you can see that there's this deep groove here. This deep groove needs to face towards the inside of the cutter, and this part of it needs to face towards the back of the cutter. So we're going to flip this around, and this is actually going to go like this. So this is how we need to attach this. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it over so that I don't put it on backwards. And then we're going to line up the holes. So there's these 2 little holes here. So we're going to line it up. And then we're going to bolt it in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to grab our Allen wrench over here, and we're going to make sure that this is screwed in there tight. So I'm just tightening him. That's pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip this up so you can see what it looks like. So it should sit like this. So this is the front, and then this is the back. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the other one. And then we have this one. So now is when it gets a little bit tricky. This is why I'm sitting down in a chair, because we have to go and attach the supporting brace to both sides of the cutter, or the stand rather. So as you can see, this has 2 little holes here where the screws screw into there. These have to line up with the 2 holes right here on the legs. So in order to do that, you kind of have to balance each side. So we have to fit it in here. And then we have to balance it and put the screws in. So I found that it was easier to take this and balance it between my legs so that we're able to do that. So I'm going to flip this over, line it up, so once our holes are lined up here, I'm just going to keep this balanced. And this is where it gets tricky. We have to get a screw and put it on our Allen wrench. So I'm going to put it on the end here. And then we kind of have to balance this on there and feed it through these holes to connect them. So I'm going to be very careful and drop this down in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and screw it in. So I'm just keeping everything steady. I'm going to use my legs just to stabilize it a little bit. Good. So we'll do this one. I'm not going to make it as tight as it can go, just so I make sure that these holes on the other side line up as well. Okay, and then I'm going to grab another one and do the same thing. So I'm just going to connect the Allen wrench, balance this on there, and then feed it in. I'm just going to make sure it's lined up. And there we go. We'll screw that in. All right, and then now that I have these both in there, I'm going to make sure they're tied up. And then we're going to flip it over. And since this is in there on that side and steady, this side is going to be a lot easier to connect. So we'll go ahead and do that as well. We want to make sure that it's not flipped so we don't put it on the wrong side. So we need our supporting brace to be on this side as well. So I'm just going to line them up, put it in there, and now since this is a little bit higher, I'm going to go ahead and stand up so I can see it a little better. So once this is lined up, we'll do the same thing. And then I'm going to make sure they're both really tight. And then we'll go ahead and flip this up. And here's our stand for our Graphtec. All right, guys, so that's how we set that up. Okay, so this is everything that comes in the box with your new Graphtec CE6000-60 Plus. We have a couple of DVDs. This one is a training DVD, and this one is just a user guide and a software DVD. We have some warranty information here. This just tells you that if you register your machine within 30 days of your purchase, that they will extend your warranty period 1 year for no extra charge. So that's pretty cool. We have this here. This just shows you how to put together your stand, which we've already done. We have your software activation codes for the Graphtec Pro Studio. We have 3 codes here, so you can put it on 3 computers, and it gives you the registration site so that you can go and get the software. And then we just have some more paperwork here. This is just a letter saying thank you. This is instructions for just like typical material types. Here's a cutter blade manual. And then this is just another manual and then a setup manual. We have our power cord here. We have our USB to connect from cutter to computer. A cross cutter here to cut your vinyl at the back. There's a few different blade holders. So there's your regular one that you use for vinyl and rhinestones and any other materials like that. There's a fiber blade that we don't really use. And then there's some sort of like optical lens. Again, I'm not really sure what this one is used for, but we focus more on like the vinyl and rhinestone cutting blade. And then this little box is what the actual blade comes in. So if we open this up, and it's right in there, that's our blade. And it comes with the 45-degree blade, so you would have to purchase the additional 60-degree blade. And that's everything that comes in the box, besides your actual cutter, and then the additional box that comes with it is for the cutting stand. Hopefully this helped you out. If you guys have any questions, comment below or send us an email to info@therhinestoneworld.com.